What did I teach you?
You are Duke. No, you're A number one.
I can't hear you.
You are the Duke of New York. You're A number one.
Peace, everybody. Can everybody hear me? If so, just type it into the chat, because I got to keep everybody muted because the reverb on this is crazy. Islam, everybody. Hope everybody's been well. Another fine day in the apocalypse for us all as we move closer and closer to 0 point. I hope everybody is maintaining themselves and not getting caught up in all of the propaganda that's going on out here to try to get us involved in situations and circumstances that don't have nothing to do with us. Hope everybody's been elevating as best as they can and demonstrating what it means to be Moorish American or conscious individual or whatever it is that you describe yourself as. Who's it? No. Islam. Hope all is well. There's always so much going on, but we're going to strive to continue on. And, we're going to put all of the fake propaganda to rest and get to the bottom as to why we are and why we've been, and therefore negating any of the possession, spells, and necromancy that these people be trying to throw up on us under the guise of news and false information and AI-backed disruptive content, inshallah. So anybody have any questions about anything before we get started? Have you ever heard of the page bomb? Yes, that's one of the Mossad's greatest inventions, which was the page bomber. But it was the type of deviousness it took to even do that means that they had to basically retroactively go into the actual factories, and then from the factories retroactively go back to the actual maintenance, like go back to who actually manufactured the chips to be able to work the technology to be able to get the pager, so that way it wouldn't be detected by Hamas and the rest of those people that they used them for. For people that don't know, the Mossad was able to take people's pages and turn them into bombs and then blow them up. Now, they did a similar thing like this to Johnny Cochran. They killed Johnny Cochran with the cell phone. You know what I mean? So it's not like they didn't have this type of capability, but I mean, doing a cell phone is a little easier than a pager, because with the cell phone, you could remote activate that. With the pager, they had to actually embed the devices within the fabric of the device, which means they had to retroactively go back into either the factory or the manufacturing plant or whatever it was in China, wherever this thing was created. So you got to give respect is due. The greatest intelligence agency on the planet right now really is Mossad, if you really want to keep it real. Only because they have almost impunity when it comes to CIA. So it used to be MI5. Prior to World War II, the top intelligence clandestine services was MI5, which is basically MI6. Then OSS, which became CIA. Then Pakistani ISS. Then Israel. After, it basically became Mossad at the top, CIA number 2, and then MI5, MI6. You know what I'm saying? So these devils are diabolical. They're the worst people in the world. However, you got to respect their level of Satanism and evil to the point that they could actually even do something like that. Yes, if you go on my app, I have it on the app, and I also posted it on YouTube. Big up to everybody that went on YouTube and gave their testimonials based on the last class and what we went into. A lot of people wrote me afterwards and were very triggered. It had a lot of post regressive memories start to come back, and they started to post a lot of that into the comments. So if you go into the comment section of the last video, you can read the testimonials of the people who have experienced the things that we was talking about. Because all of these devils, black and white, want to discredit everything we talking about, try to make it seem like it's all conspiracy. But every conspiracy theory that we've ever heard of has turned out to be true. Therefore, conspiracy theories itself is a conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? And a scam. Conspiracy theories are scam because all conspiracy theories are basically just spoilers alert. Basically just spoiler alerts. You know what I'm saying? So the more we expose them, the less they can affect us, and the more we can take better control of our prefrontal and precognitive lobes, so that way we don't fall victim to these things anymore. Islam. The first step in avoiding the trap is to know that it exists. So if you and I take the perspective that everything that any corporation or anything that the United States has ever told us is a damn lie, then we are always going to be on the top. You understand? You only fall victim when you give these devils the benefit of the doubt. But if you really think about in your life, when has a doubt ever benefited you? Never. So that means that so long as we do the opposite, just like George Costanza on Seinfeld, whenever we do the opposite of what they expect us to do, we always win. That was something I learned growing up, not sure where it came from. Found out that they were sleeping with dogs and men and women. Yes, because syphilis comes from dogs. I just saw a video the other day with this Asian lady, right? The Siberian lady, and she was talking about how she went to the doctor and she was wondering why her underarms and stuff, she had just had a baby, and while underarms and stuff was getting so dark, and then she had kind of like a bump like under both of her arms, and the doctor basically told her those aren't, but she was like, it's kind of sore and everything. She said it kind of feels like my nipples and stuff, as the baby was feeding. She said, oh, that's because that's what they are. She said, what? She said, yes, those are actual nipples that are under your armpits. Some people actually get them on their legs, behind their legs and stuff. So she was like, well, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, certain peoples of certain ethnicities tend to get those. So again, showing and proving. Next week, I'll show the actual joint, showing and proving the actual video. I couldn't find it right now. But again, that's talking, those aren't nipples. Those are udders. Those are called udders. You understand? These people are born with udders. Just like the same way you see them born with tails, these people be born with udders. So that means that they could give milk, that they could actually breastfeed from their breasts, from the underarms, from the back of their knees, like a litter. You understand what I'm saying? This is real. And then our people be trying to breed with these people. You understand? You understand the problem with this? You see why you're supposed to stay within your own genetic material and your genetic people? It ain't for racism. It ain't hate. This is real. You can look it up. Next week I'm gonna find a video and play it just so that way the haters can be like, oh, it is real. No, it is real. I told you the week after we posted the video about the dog people, what happened? Your boy Donnie and them had a dog furry ball at they mansion, and they was all dressed with dog masks. So again, this to me, that's him giving us the nod, like, yo, y'all niggas is on, y'all niggas is right. You dig? So that's what's up. Like, this has nothing to do with hatred. This has nothing to do with racism. And I think I'm better. No, I know we're better. I know we are, because we're the only 100% human beings on the planet. That's why they hate us. That's why everybody is on up in arms with us. That's why everybody mimics us. That's why everybody looks at us to find out what it is or what it's like to actually be a human. Excuse me. And by human, I don't mean monster. I mean human, like light being, hue, right? Same thing. Stop calling these people of color, okay? You are not colored, okay? You have melanin. You have a deep pigmentation. You have the celestial biomagnetic polymer that allows you to absorb all cosmic radiation. You understand? So that is not a person of color. Same thing. None of these niggas that calling themselves persons of color, none of them were afflicted during the time when so-called colored people, which were people who had their nationality hijacked by false humans, none of them niggas had to go and drink out of colored water fountains like my great grandmother and them. So unless they was doing that, they don't have no business referring to themselves as something that they had nothing to do with. And that's the problem. This ICE stuff that's happening, these white people getting murked that don't have nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. So stop trying to put yourself out there with these people who are not protesting out of their good heart. Any melanated people there, any other people you see on the front lines like that, them niggas is getting paid. Look it up. These are crisis actors. Some of these niggas is getting $100,000 pro protest. Look it up. They're scamming you. It's a scam. These niggas is not out there because they care about people. They out there because they're getting money from George Soros and the rest of these communists that's trying to destroy and foment what's happening. Haven't you noticed that since all of this stuff has been going down, no melanated people have been murdered by the police? Have you noticed that? Have we noticed this? When was the last time you saw a melanated person getting murked by the police? The last time you seen that was during the so-called Sleepy Joe, Pt2 administration, right?
No.
And I bet you can't even remember who that person was, because that probably was a scam.
That's true.
Some of these murders were straight scams, like everything else these niggas is doing. I'm telling you. So stop acting like we supposed to be out here because they got fake new Black Panthers out here trying to act like they're down for the people. Where was you niggas at when we was getting gunned down in the street? You know where they was at? This nigga, who they call this nigga Paul Birdsong? First of all, he not even a real Birdsong. I know a member of the Birdsong family, and he told me this nigga is a Birdsong only because he was adopted into the family. Whoever got their mic on, please turn it off. I got everybody muted, but we don't want any sabotaging, so everybody can hear me, right? Everybody can hear me, right? Okay. So, yeah, this nigga's not even a real Birdsong. He's adopted. And when we go back in his record, we found out that he's 1, a sex offender. 2, he used to be a Blood. 3, he used to be a Crip. Yeah, I didn't post any pictures yet. 3, he used to be a Crip. 4, he's a failed rapper. 5, he did a record with Snoop Dogg, so you know he's the police. You know he's the police if he was Snoop Dogg. Think about it. Dog. Again. What did they call Snoop? The dog father, right? Right? The dog father. Right? So this is what I'm trying to tell you. They always tell you the truth about who they are and what they down with. Right? And wasn't he pimping? Wasn't Snoop pimping? Wasn't he walking women around with leashes? Didn't he have an album called Unleashed? Think about the symbolatry of what we're saying. So this fake Panther, right? This nigga is a failed rapper, a failed Crip, a failed Blood, a sex offender, allegedly, about to get sued by the real Black Panthers, right? And what? And now he's supposedly the leader of an organization that none of the people, whether it was Fred Hampton Jr., who came out, denounced him, the new head of the new Black Panther Party came out and denounced him and said, we not out there in Minnesota. If you see Black Panthers out there, they're not real. Which means what? All these niggas is getting paid. They probably got furloughs. They probably enter some jails and say, hey, we're going to give you some money if you go out here and act like a Panther and do this, that. We'll cut time off. We'll give you a furlough. We'll treat it like a work furlough. That's what they do. So then we was on this nigga's head top so hard, right, that he had to do a whole nother video where he came out and said, look, we're going to, we just want to sway the naysayers and the people. So we're gonna throw a cookout and the thing. We want to invite all of the elders down. Right? We want to invite all the Black Panther elders down so we can learn from them and see what. I told people, you better not go to that Judas and the Black Messiah cookout. You better not go. You better not go out there. Cause 10 chances to 1, they're gonna have the niggas with the long-term surveillance, they're gonna have the microwaves, they're gonna have all of that out there. They're gonna have the profiling. This nigga's an agent. I don't know what y'all talking about. And if we still gotta go back and forth with people talking about, oh well, you know, we don't really have any proof. Like, what proof do you need, nigga? Look at this nigga. like where's your discernment at? Where's your common sense at? The actual Huey P. Newton granddaughter or whoever she was came out and said, this nigga is not down with us. I'm about to sue him. And y'all still giving this dude the benefit of the doubt because he want to go out there and petition for white people getting blasted? Where was any of these? How come none of these niggas was going into Chicago and trying to stop the gang violence and all of that out there? How come none of these niggas do that when it's convenient? We're talking about the new fake Black Panther dude who allegedly is the head of the new Black Panther. Matter of fact, let me show you a picture of him and the new Black Panthers, and you tell me if I'm crazy by looking at these people. You tell me, where is this picture? Oh my God, where is this nigga at? Wait, you tell me if I'm bugging. Wait. Of course, now I can't find it. I thought I pulled it out. Give me 1 second. Yeah, please, everybody, make sure you're muted so that way thing. If you have anything, questions, whatever, just type it right into the chat. I'll see it right away and I'll get right to you. No, it's not it, of course. Let me just pull it out from the thing. Give me 1 second. So yeah, don't don't cast your pearls to swine, and don't be gaslit to go out there and petition and get beat up and shit in the head with people who actually are getting paid. These guys are getting paid to be out there. There's certain dudes go and look at the people behind these people. There's people out there that you see them at every rally, at every protest. Them people is getting paid. Like I said, some of them, the career ones, is getting like 100 racks an appearance. That's more than some of your favorite entertainers. And you're gonna go out there and then what? Think that you standing in league with these people? No, they're not there out of the goodness of their heart because they care about original people and all that. No, they are there because they're getting paid, and they're paid adjutants. They're so-called crisis actors. A couple of years ago, they tried to act like crisis actors didn't exist until we started going online and finding the actual casting calls for these niggas. So if they doing that, and they've been doing that, why are they? Where were any of these people when we needed them? Nobody was there for us ever. None of these people are. Don't talk to me about the Jews that was walking with Michael Luther King. They were his handlers. That was Mr. Levinson and them. Those were his speechwriters and handlers. So don't start talking to me about that because it's not true. None of these people are on our side. We are all we got. As soon as we accept that, we will be good. Of course, I can't find a picture of all these things. It's crazy how that happens. As soon as we accept that we are on our own, we will win. Here we go. Yes. Now you tell me, do these look like Black Panthers to you? Really, like really, really keep it real. Like what kind of, maybe the Black Panders, maybe the Black Panther Party, that makes sense. But no, Panthers, no. Has nothing to do with that. But it has everything to do with what I'm gonna show you on the left hand side of your screen. So on the right-hand side, the light-skinned nigga in the front is supposed to be the one that's supposed to be leading the charge against ICE and the rest of these niggas. I'm about to pull it up now. Give me 1 second. Come on now. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. These are the panders. These are the panders that's out here panthering for you, trying to protect Miss Good and this other dude Petty. Look at the names of the people that's allegedly getting clapped out there. The first one was Renee Good, who was a paid agitator. Then the next one, allegedly, and then the next one now is this dude, Paul Birdsong, who's not even a real Birdsong. That's not even his real name. So we don't even really know who this nigga is. But now he's the one leading the so-called Panthers and leading y'all to freedom. You understand the game that's being played on y'all? On us? And we supposed to just fall for it. Look, this when he was a blood. Look how many altars CIA done put this nigga in. Okay, to the point, some of the interviews, he using the same script. Oh, let them come out there and see what happened. I bet they won't do that to me. And blah, blah, blah. Like, what, nigga? What? What? Look at the play. Look at how they playing you. Look at this. This is who y'all following. This who y'all gonna go to the cookout with. Right? This who you he say JM said he looked like you could buy his preset at Walmart. Exactly. This is the Black Panther starter kit. The black jacket, the button, the beret, right? He got the Blood and Crip starter kit, the bandanas, right? The Pyru, right? But look at this. Look at the Panther. Look at the two Panthers under him. Look at the handlers. Look at these niggas behind him. What Panthers you know? When have you ever seen people like this on the front lines with you? Never. And I done seen conscious people. I done seen Moors talking about, yo, I'm gonna go to the cook. Oh, you an agent too then. You an agent too. You just posing. And you know what I think? I think some of these people want to be beat up by the police. I think some of our people actually are so victimized in their mind that they actually want to go out there and be martyrs, get beat up or whatever, for whatever fake cause they think that they holding up. For people who never did this for them. Never. Ever. You understand? You've never seen Asian people out there with you on the street marching, all that shit. Never. 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 You ain't never seen it. So why are you seeing this now? Because we are not involved. Because we not involved. It don't got nothing to do with us. And they can't get nothing popping unless we're involved. Because we're the only real people. Everybody else is cosplaying humans. Everybody else is not real. We're the only ones. So it don't pop off unless we pop it off. Not the Africans, not the Caribbean, us here in America, us. How many times do we have to tell you? Stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. These people have nothing to do with you. They don't even like you. This thing, like I said, this dude was talking about shooting up other black people a couple of months ago. Now he's leading you to freedom in Minnesota. One of the proven biggest scam states in the whole country. That is now being exposed. Now all that money and all that property that they've been hoarding for you can now go back to you because these people getting kicked out. And what are they doing? They now want you to go and march with them. Didn't you see Judas and the Black Messiah? Didn't we see the movie? Didn't we see it? Didn't we see it? That's all I'm saying. Look at these people, man. Y'all really think that these people... Look, I'm going to show you these next ones. Hold up. Y'all really think Y'all really think this is real? Y'all really think these niggas is really gonna be out there holding you down if something pop off? Y'all, you think so? These people? Come on now. Come on now, Moors. Come on. We gotta work smarter instead of harder, man. Stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. It's not the way. You understand? We better than this. We got better things to do right now than to be involved with shit that don't got nothing to do with us. Nothing. Nothing to do with us, Moors. Okay? Let's stop acting like we black. You know what I'm saying? Stop doing that because it's foolishness now. And like I said, when the so-called conscious Moors is telling you this, now I'm looking at everybody sideways. Everybody credibility done to me. Anybody co-signing this, we not the same. We don't see things the same. You don't have the same level of discernment that you supposed to. Yo, my son, right? He's 17, right? I brought him in the room, right? And showed him this dude. I said, now, does this dude look real? Now, he know about, I be building with him and all of that, but I also don't try to like inundate him with so much extra, gloom and doom stuff or whatever. I said, does this dude look like he could lead anybody? He said, no. Off top, I said, why? Said, because he doesn't look like he knows what he talking about. I say, yo, Dan said these is only Drake fans. Word. They put Drake out as a Panther now. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So again, the more we laugh at these people, the more we create memes about these people. You understand? If this the best CIA got, bro, if this the best they got, I'm telling you, we are so far ahead of the game. It's insane at this point, bro. If this what they got to give, like we didn't see the movie, like we didn't hear all the stories our parents taught us about what was going on and this, that, like we already know. Okay, this is it. That's what I'm trying to say. We dealing with children now. It's beyond discernment. We with the Pluto and Aquarius, your hyper reactive intuition is buzzing right now. So as soon as you see something false, as soon as you see something off, you just automatically call it out. If you're not functioning on that level, then you're gonna be out here with these things. So again, man, let's stop with the cap. You know what I mean? So let's put Mr. Birdsong to rest so he could stop disrespecting my man's family. You know what I'm saying? The real Birdsong. You know what I'm saying? And that's real. Like, we got to stop trying to give people the benefit of the doubt because, like I said, doubts don't benefit nobody. Look at these tired Moors. These Moors look tired. This nigga look like he need a kidney flush. This person was wearing a cross. Like, what? Most of them Panthers was atheists. Most of the original Panthers was socialist communists, which means they was atheists. And that's what got the Panthers beat up and locked up and messed up by the government. Because these niggas was devout Marxists and socialists. And we had just came out of the McCarthy era where all of them niggas was basically trying to destabilize the country. If they had just been about so-called black power, that would have been it. But no, they trying to read the Mao Zedong book. You know how many people the Maoists killed out there? 50 million people. Communism, socialism, Marxism has never worked. Never. It's not working in China. The Russians jettisoned that shit at the fall of the Soviet Republic. Them Russians ain't communists no more. They socialists. There's a difference, you know. They're national socialists. They're different. They did away with that communism thing because it don't work. Put it like this. You could be a communist in a capitalist society, but you cannot be a capitalist in a communist society. Do you understand? It don't work that way. Marx said it best. He said, at the root of Marxism is the need to remove personal property, is the abolishment of personal property. So anybody trying to get rid of your personal property is a communist, socialist, Marxist, Satanist, atheist. You understand? It's all the same, but it has varying degrees. The reason why the Russians is winning is because they have switched to a national socialistic oligarchy. But really, it's somewhat of a authoritarian monarchy because Putin is basically the king over there. That's why Donnie like him. Donnie is secretly working with this nigga, bro. Putin came out the other day and said that he locked up the Rothschilds. He is waging war against them now, openly. Openly. He said openly, I'm banging on the Rothschilds. Wherever they at, I'm banging on them. I'm assassinating them. I'm getting rid of them. This is what he said openly out his own mouth. Then he banned LGBTQ, all of that out there. So you could be gay and all of that, but you can't be a political party, none of that. If they find you doing that, they ixnaying you, okay? Then he has shut down all churches of Satan. He done banned all Satanists. They say he about to ban Freemasons out there. This nigga is not playing. He's not playing. But that benefits Donnie. You understand? That benefits him. Because he, low-key, is trying to get from up under Netanyahu. Because he want to be the only one running shit. He want to be the only one getting people murked on. He don't want to take orders from this nigga. He don't like him. I told you, this nigga is a Gemini. This nigga is Kang. He don't care. He don't care. He'll say whatever to get what he want. And what he want, again, is the people to love him, right? Say I'm lying. Yes, he wants the people to love him, and he want to do what the hell he want to do. So how can he do that if the Jews and these people blackmailing him? How can he get that off? He need help. So guess who helping him? So that's number one. Number one and number two. Number three is they done turned on the icebox. They done hit up the geoengineering with the chemtrails. And everybody's like, oh, they doing this because they trying to keep people in the house and all that. No. All of that is because they trying to put Leviathan back to sleep. This nigga is not playing. This nigga is waking up and he's causing havoc. Right here he go right off the coast of his head is right off the coast of Miami, right around where I'm at, right around out here in the Caribbean, right? His tail is all the way on the other side here. So you see these red lines right here? See all of this energy that's being popped up right here? This is where his tail is at. This is where the tail at. And all of this is shooting up here. All of this is electromagnetic energy that's disrupting the oxygen. Why? Because oxygen is a scam. You ready for this? Oxygen is a scam. It's a scam. Think about it. All of the whack shit that's hurting people in terms of drugs all start with oxy, oxycodone, oxycontin, dimethylene oxidant, right? Why? Because it's a scam. I'm gonna show you why. Whenever you have oxidation, what does that do? What does that do to things that are oxidized? They rust, right? They start to decay, right? Right? But all these niggas telling you H2O, right? So if it's H2O, how come, and oxygen is the most important shit, how come oxygen is at the end? How come hydrogen is first? Y'all ever think about that? How come hydrogen comes first in the equation? 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen. And that hydrogen, that 2 parts, some of that is carbon. Remember? Yes, the Arctic blast, the arc light, the arc reactor, right? Yes, because they trying to put Leviathan to sleep because Leviathan is not playing. Everybody think it's a joke. They think, oh, it's not real. These niggas think Leviathan fake, but they think dinosaurs real. Yo, it's crazy, son. They crazy. They crazy. They don't even hear how crazy they are. You understand? What you think this is? What is this in the water? What you think this is? This is in the radar. You can look it up. You can Google Earth this. Okay? But these niggas say, oh, that's fake. That's fake. That's pseudo. What? But y'all believe in dinosaurs. Okay. 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 Like you can, that's what I said, more. These people not gonna make it. I'm telling you, they not gonna make it. They believe this white man too much. They believe him too much. Yes, the Midgard serpent. Yes. Yes. Marcus said Dromandier. Yes. 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 What they call him in the comic book, Fing Fang Foom. Yes. 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 This nigga's waking up. And if this dude wake up all the way, all the technology, all this AI stuff, all of that stuff that y'all like is all over. Because all it do is destroy inorganic matter. If you are not organic, it's over for you. So they got to slow him down. They got to try to, you know what I mean? Where do you think this oil and oil is coming from? Didn't they tell you that oil come from dinosaur fossils? Didn't they tell you that? How can you pull oil from a bone? Tell me that. tell me that. Tell me how you pull oil out of a bone. So again, Moors, let's be real. Let's be real, man. Let's stop the cap. Let's stop giving these people all the power. They don't have it. Israel is constantly talking about how they're going to nuke somebody. Do it. Do it. I bet you won't. I bet that you won't. Because you can't. You couldn't stop Iran from dropping them bombs. That's why they had to tell Donnie to stop. Not only was they going to hang 800 of their agents, but at the same time, they said if their iron shield don't work, it don't work. Look, oxygen is a scam. Them people going to them oxygen bars. Remember they had oxygen bars popping for a little while? You ain't heard nothing about them, right? Because there's class action suits because the people that went there to get them oxygen sucking that up, all of them got cancer and stuff now. Keeping it quiet though. You got to keep, you can't speak on that. So you got to keep that quiet. You know what I'm saying? An oxidizing agent or oxidant is a substance that causes oxidation in another substance by accepting its electrons, meaning the oxidizing agent itself gets reduced in the process. Common examples include oxygen, halogens. Aren't halogen lights bad for you? Didn't they tell you that? Aren't halogen lights bad? And like chlorine, don't they put chlorine in your pool water? So when you come out the pool, your eyes be all red and all that. Why would they put chlorine in water when they could just make saltwater pools? You ever ask yourself that? No, we don't. We just swim in the chlorine, right? You better swimming in the ocean. You you better swimming in your bathtub. Hydrogen peroxide, and they are crucial in reactions like what? Combustion, metabolism, and what? Corrosion. When something corrodes, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Anybody? Bad. Yes, Marcus, it's bad. They can make other materials burn more intensely or even spontaneously. See that? Drying your skin out. Right. Right. So that means what? Oxygen is not good. So why are we breathing it? Because these niggas have been working since the last reset to destabilize the hydrogen and carbon in the air to make it harder for us to breathe. Because we as pure humans need more hydrogen and carbon. So what do? They say they want to what? Reduce your carbon footprint. Whose footprint has the most carbon in it? Anybody? Anybody want to take a stab at that? Who carbon got the most who footprint got the most carbon in it? Science is a scam. It's a scam. It's another scam. Science is their religion. Yes, melanated beings. Thank you, Marcus. Boom, here we go again. Yes, oxygen. Look at this. Yes, oxygen can damage cells through a process called oxidative stress, where excess oxygen creates harmful molecules called reactive oxygen species, which can damage proteins, lipids, and DNA, leading to cell dysfunction or death, a condition known as oxygen toxicity, also known as hyperoxia. While vital for life, too much oxygen leads to these ROS, similar to rusting, disrupting normal cell functions, especially in tissues high in metabolic activity like the lungs, eyes, and brain. Have you ever heard of this in science? In all of the science classes you went to in school, in all these niggas with PhDs, has anybody ever read this? I'm really asking. How many of y'all have ever heard this in science class or any science fiction movie or any PBS programming? Ever? Never? But y'all passed science class, right? You see? Education is a scam. Science is a scam. Oxygen is a scam. Black power, black pan-Africanism is a scam. All the scams is being revealed, y'all. So don't hate on me. Don't hate on me, hate on the AI. I got this from the AI. The same AI y'all say y'all say is y'all don't like. Y'all say it's supposed to take over. So again, y'all, we're proving we're not even, it's not even about opinion anymore. This is the truth. Oxygen is a scam. Now remember when we used to be blue and purple and green? Remember when we used to be them colors in the reset prior to this? Remember? Like in Avatar and all that shit, we ain't have tails though, but you know what I'm saying. Remember? Remember that, right? Remember all the pictures you done seen of Amun and Malek Toss and who's another blue god? And what's his name? Who's that? Vishnu, Krishna, one of them. And then you see the ones of Asar where he's green, right? The Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Like when we had the hyperchlorophilic hydrogen aspects in our body, copper colored and all of that. Remember that? You know why you're brown now? You know why? Because of oxygen. Because of oxygen. Look, look how the AI just went total phonics, went phonetic on us. Oxidation. Oxidation. Shun, right? Shun means what? Shun means when you shun something, what are you doing to it? You're casting it away, right? Okay. Thank you, y'all. Boom. Exile, banish. That's right. A chemical reaction that takes place when a substance comes into contact with oxygen or other oxidizing substance. Examples of oxidation are rust and brown color on a cut apple, or the brown color in our skin. We're like this because they upped the oxygen content when they cut down all of the hyperbolic trees and all of that in our blood, which then reduced the magnesium and the copper filaments in our body, which then transmuted the blood and then and then turned us to rust. And we still were more powerful than these niggas. Still. We still is more dominant than these niggas. You understand? Still. So where's the conscious people that was supposed to tell us all of this? Where was the scientists and all of that? Where was they at when they were supposed to tell us this? Only certain people told us this. You know who told us this? Dr. Richard Green. You know who told us this? Dr. Laila Africa. You know who told us this? Bobby Hemmett. You know who told us this? What's his name? Who's the other health dude? C. Freeman L. They was telling us this on lectures and DVDs back in the days, that our families and niggas that was in the world was like, oh, that's fake. That's fake pseudoscience. That's not real. Anybody talking that stuff now is an agent. That's how I'm hearing it now. Dr. Sabi, thank you. Has Yaki, any of these niggas told y'all this? All of these health niggas, that have they mentioned this at all? No. Have they? No. Because they don't know. Telling you about everything else. Telling you about pills. Telling you about plants. And these are the same niggas trying to tell you to still eat kale. Stop eating kale, man. That's creating little glass shards in your gut. Stop eating that stuff, man. Yes, Blair. Blair did tell us. That's right. Bless the dead, Dr. Blair. That's right, he did. I was one of the last people he actually did a lecture with. Yeah, Morris, this is what they doing. Now, this is why, again, you got to stop mating with these people. I'm not telling you what to do, who to love. I'm just telling you, you playing with fire, you creating more mutants, and it's not our fault when these things come out and start turning on you. They trying to convince the original woman, trying to get her to activate that Eve gene so that way she can produce more mutants and stop producing us. So she'll abort us, but then she'll go and have babies with them. This ain't really her fault. She has been manipulated into a false sense of superiority because you had a bunch of these fake niggas out here telling her that she was the only God. And when you give people and tell people who have nothing that they are everything without any context, without any real understanding of who they are, right? And you start giving them and inflating their ego, what happens? They turn into monsters. They become ego-based. You got to stop doing that. Hubris, what they say, pride becomes the fall. Pride comes before the fall, right? When did Pride Month take place in America? Didn't it take place in summer? Yes. And isn't summer before the fall? You see? And when you have Pride Month, spell the word Pride Month out, right? Pridemonth, right? Let's break it up. PRI space DEMON space TH. What you got? You see there's a demon in the middle of that word? Do the knowledge to the spells that these demons is always putting you in and trying to shame you into participating. This is why the gods say, do the knowledge. So you can get the wisdom to understand how they playing you all day long. Every word, every image, everything these people tell you is a lie, is a spell, is a curse. That's just who they are. It has nothing to do with their skin color more than it has to do with their nature. Their nature is to disrupt and lie. That's why the dirty ones created them, to act as a spiritual, physical, metaphysical impediment for us, because we are the only humans. I am not talking about this chosen people, whatever thing that y'all talking about. You choose who you are yourself. You understand? So remember, this is why. So getting back to the mutant thing, they're trying to get the original woman through her ego, through her hubris, to accept creating more of them because they are going extinct, because their time is up. They have not been here for 6,000 years in the present form that you see them. The present form that you see them in now has only existed for the past 250 years, period. The 6,000 going all the way back, that's when they were bipedal. That's when they were not even considered human beings. When they had to be shaved, when they had to be lived in caves, whether it be the Yeti or the Sasquatch or the Magunza or the Tamahu or whatever fake human name or whatever we gave them. It's a psyop. Remember, they took the rainbow and reversed it. The violet is supposed to be at the top. When they reverse it and make the red at the top, they're putting the root chakra at the top, which is maladapted. You understand? We understand what we're saying. You understand what I'm saying, Morse? It's that simple. So, what you don't know, or what they don't tell everybody, is that in order for her to do that, they have to do this. Did you know that whenever a so-called black woman becomes pregnant by a white man, her doctor has to give her 2 Rogaine shots? R-O-C-R-H, R-H, see? R-O-GAM, like game, because it's a scam. They gaming her. Rogam injections to prevent her body from naturally attempting to abort the fetus. 1 injection is approximately 28 weeks. Now I'm going to pause there for a second. I want to show you something. Okay? pause that real quick. Okay. Everybody can hear me, right? Okay. 1 second. Now think about it. Think about what we're saying, Morse. You can read it for yourself. Boom. Remember this movie? Did you know that whenever a black woman becomes pregnant by a white man, her doctor has to give her 2 Rogaine injections to prevent her body from naturally attempting to abort the fetus? So that means there is a genetic trigger in her body that stops her automatically from producing a mutant. Islam, this is not racism. This is not hate. This is biologics. This is science, right? This is science. 1 injection is given approximately 28 weeks, and the second one within 72 hours of the delivery. Had it not been for this biological response within the so-called black woman, there would have been far more greater amount of mixed babies during slavery. So the very essence of the Creator, the living God, the living creator of all existence, has placed this in you to protect you in the physical plane from incarnating people who would come to actually destroy you as their mother. And you still decide to do the opposite. There's no such response, though, when a white woman becomes pregnant by a black man. So who is God? If we really talking now, if we really getting into it, who is inhibited and who is not? All of you goddess worshipers and all of this bullshit y'all be doing, putting these women in harm's way, making them feel that they're autonomous, that there's some sort of extra dimensional being that can only create of itself. What? You show me one woman on earth who has created a baby without the sperm of a man, and I will text you, I will cash app you $1,000 right now. You show me one in real life. You can't. You can only talk to me about what you read in books, what some Freemason done convinced you, what some feminist done told you. JML. JM say, yo, God don't like mutants, so they made you love the X-Men. Exactly. This response occurs when the black women are impregnated by white men because of the Caucasians. What? RH monkey factor. Because they are RH positive. We are RH negative. This isn't common knowledge, but it's absolutely true. Dr. Robert Sepher, look at his name. Sepher, like the Sephiroth, right? So you know he's one of them small hats that's just giving out the truth. A Caucasian scientist and author, get this book now, it's called Species with Amnesia. Get the book. Get this book. And when these sisters start talking to you about divesting and how great white men treat them, and white men are the best, and white men in this, and white men love their hair and all of this, send them the book. Matter of fact, just send them this video. Our forgotten history. We didn't forget. They forced the amnesia on us. They forced this on the original woman. Queen Nzinga wasn't having no baby with no white man. Queen Hatshepsut wasn't having no baby with no white man. I'm sorry. Sorry. You understand? Name another queen. Cleopatra wasn't even doing that because Mark Antony and them niggas was not Caucasian. Them niggas was melanated. So name one. Name one sister in history that you know that was a queen or anything else that was married to one of them like that. I'll wait. You ain't never see that. You only see that on Bridgerton and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? These things be creating fake history for y'all, and they put y'all in it and put who is this dude? Who the dude is with that's gonna play Hal Jordan, John Stewart, the Green Lantern, which is horrible because John Stewart is like my queen color. He dark skinned. They done gave it to this cat-eye dude that was with Tiana Taylor. That's most likely one of them LGBTQ PDO people, allegedly. Right? No, they gonna make it seem like no. Writes that this biological response within the so-called African woman is evidence of us being separate species. Modern humanity isn't one species, but it is a hybrid of species. Africans, i.e. Moors, i.e. melanated people, are Homo sapiens superior. And Caucasians are Neanders, Neanderthals, meaning those who grew up at the mouth of the caves of the Neander River. Get the book Making of the White Man. Get the book Iceman Inheritance. Get the book 13th Tribe. Get the book what's another one? Making It a White Man, Iceman Inheritance, Chosen People of the Caucasus. Go and look at the movie Clan of the Cave Bear. they were showing us this with the tranny what's her name? What's his name? Daryl Hannah. How you a female named Daryl? They be telling you. They straight be telling you. You understand? They be telling you, bro. Oh yeah, this is my wife, Daryl. What? Like, what? Quest for Fire. Yes. It is evidence of us being separate species. They are Neanders. Some people may present the question of how we can interbreed at all if we're different species. Perhaps we do so in the same way that a lion and a tiger can reproduce, but they are not the same species. And when they produce with each other, they produce the liger, but the ligers are sterile. They can't produce each other because the liger, as it's bred that way, has the enhanced gene that allows it to grow enormous, but it doesn't produce the sperm cells because nature knows what it's doing. Nature, the same Gaia. Oh, Gaia is God. We have to worship the trees and the grass and Gaia. Gaia know what it's doing. Gaia don't like mutations. It don't. Yes, y'all. Natural selection, Darwin. And what do we know about Darwin? Darwin mated with the Galton family and another family, and they interbred with each other in order to produce the superhuman. And you know what it did? It wiped them out genetically. That's why Darwin and Galton family have no descendants today. Because they bred insanity. That type of thing is called consanguinity. Islam, that's what it's called. That's what the Arabs practice. That's what the Somalians practice. That's why you're not supposed to breed with them, because they breed with each other to stay a certain color and keep a certain phenotype. And what it does is it reduces their intelligence and it makes them sterile and infertile and produces more birth defects the longer they do it. That's another reason why they deporting them. because a lot of them niggas is now trying to get out and trying to find ways to extend their lives because they know that they're genetically done. So they're trying to breed with you and breed that into you. But we all supposed to just get along. We all supposed to just accept all this shit because we black, right? Has anybody who went to biology school, has anybody ever taught y'all this? Has anybody ever taught us this? As to why? But see, when the Jews do it, when the Jews say, oh, well, we don't want to marry Goyim. We don't want to marry them. We want to keep our genetic pure. No, because they know that they mate with us, it's over for them. They're gone. They're gone. So they have to find a way to do that. So remember, everything is inverted. They are the Goyim. They are the true Goy. Wasn't that the name of the one of the lead rappers in De La Soul, which was supposed to be yogurt spelled backwards? Wasn't that True Goy's name? See how the Jews, see how they played him? Wasn't Tommy Boy owned by the Small Hats? Yes. Yes. Again, another ritual that they put you into. Because they say that they are the chosen people. Yes, they are chosen. They've chosen to be who they are. That's why they are. Elon Musk is saying that they are dying off. And again, they had to get an African American to tell you this because that's what he is. He is an African American. He is a true African American. So moving on, Donnie and them was at Davos this weekend or last weekend. And Donnie basically just told all of them, y'all don't have a choice in doing nothing. I'm going to do whatever I want, however I want, and y'all not going to do nothing about it. Basically is what he told them. They said, well, Macron is coming out, and Macron said that, he's not going to play ball with you and this, and that. He's like, yeah, that's cool, but he ain't going to be in office that long. He said, and I'm friends with him. I like him, but I don't like what he's doing with France and all that, and what they're doing to their people. So he's not going to be in office much longer. So we don't really care what he says. They like, yo, well, the people are saying that we're supposed to, the people want you to stop with what you do. He said, we're not stopping. We're not stopping. We can't stop. We can't stop, won't stop. Like he's on it like that, y'all. He on it like that. This Gemini is insane. This nigga is not playing. He don't care. He just don't care. You gotta respect that. Whether you like this nigga or not, I don't like him, but I don't hate him. I'm totally indifferent to the whole thing. How about that? I'm indifferent to the whole thing, but I'm enjoying the show. I'm enjoying the shit he's saying. The nigga say, yo. He said, yo, I know Larry Fink, he's my man, we cool and all of that, but the whole BlackRock buying all of the homes where the American people are being denied the American dream of owning a home and having property and land and all that. We can't have that taken away from them. So I just signed an executive order before I left that says that no institutional investors can buy any homes in bulk anywhere in America from now on. That's it. So sorry, Larry, but we're not doing that anymore. What? He said we're going to put the property back in the American people's hands. And this is what we're doing. How can you be against that? How can you be against that? If you're against that, you're an agent. Look, this is the nigga. This is Klaus Schwab, yo. This is who was running the WEF. This is the ultra Uber who said that you are not going to own anything and be happy. This is the guy who came up with the whole process of saying this. This dude is a thing. He's not even real. This is who's dictating the global policy. That's why your boy Fink came out and said, look, we can no longer just, act like what we're doing is cool and everybody in the world is getting along with it. We have to open up dialogue. Now, that don't mean that he believe none of this and he's trying to be better and all that. They still trying to do what they doing. Because at the same time, Donnie say that, he also say, oh yeah, we're going to go full digital and AI and all this and all of that. So he's doing what he got to do as a Gemini. So really, it's about which one of them you're going to focus on. Which Trump is going to be the Trump that's going to work for you? Yeah, we're going to set up the border peace. This nigga said, look, we setting up the border peace, and everybody that's going to get down with it got to pay $1 billion. You got to pay a billy. You got to pay a straight bill to get in. And that bill is only good for 3 years. If you don't come up with the next billy after 3 years, your slot taken. Yo, son. Yo, it's popping. While at the same time, your man Musk is talking about, AI is really a problem. But then he's the one promoting the AI. So what are you talking about? Again, double speak, inverted speak, because they know it's over. Bill Gates showed up there and the people attacked him. They attacked his car. They almost flipped his car. They was beating the police up to get at this dude, bro. Then this nigga announced that he got 25 African nations ready to go in on him so he can revamp their health care. So please, Africans, don't tell me nothing. Outside of my Cameroonian peoples, of the Wafo tribe, big up to my brother Guy, out there, Guy L, because the Wafos is Moors. That's the only ones that I know that's constantly on it. My man Guy and them, that's my peoples. All the rest of y'all that's out there letting these people run up in you for the next 25 years, don't tell me nothing about anything else. I'm not with it. We not with it. We done survived the Tuskegee experiment, the GATE program, the crack era, the drug era, the war on drugs, Vietnam, the patchwork family, the baby daddy generation, the baby mama generation, the latchkey kid generation. We done survived all of this. And we also survived COVID because we was the only ones in the country that was saying, no, we not doing that. So they admit they failed. Your boy Klaus came out and said that the whole COVID thing was a test to test compliance. And we passed. We said no. We said no. And now Donnie and them is a Rizzy. So again, these are your leaders. These are the niggas that y'all scared of. This is who is dictating global policy for you. This is who y'all scared of. This is the Illuminati y'all talking about. Do you understand that the Illuminati was wiped out by the Moors and the French government when they found them, when they found out what happened and they found the manuscript, rounded all of them niggas up, and them Moors hung all of them? Do you know that? Go look it up. Weishaupt included. Hung these niggas, hung all of them, killed them. Illuminati was done. What happened was there was something called the Congress of Wilhelmsbad in 1782, in which the dirty Moors, in order to bring an end to the war between the ancients and the moderns, got together and created a truce and said anybody that was going to be in those lodges or whatever from that point on, that they would have the right to do whatever satanic stuff they wanted to do, so long as they didn't affect the rest of the people who wasn't with it. And it's been that way ever since. So what y'all calling the Illuminati, let me tell you, none of these niggas that you are seeing, all of these Jay-Z, none of them are Illuminati. None of them. Jay-Z, Beyonce, none of them. They are slaves. They wish they could be what they call Illuminati. True Illuminati is the black nobility. Those niggas you'll never see. The Club of Rome, the Council of Foreign, even them, the Council of Foreign Relations, Club of Rome, all of them, none of them are it. That's why I keep telling you, none of these niggas is in control. It's all a scam. It's the boogeyman that they've been using against you. And the Freemasons are the ones that's keeping it going. The so-called real Illuminati, like I said, is the niggas that you don't see. The black nobility that's using these white people and these low-level Prince Hall niggas as decoys. You understand? There is no Illuminati order. You understand? That's Dan Brown psyop shit. Why you think they put Tom Hanks in it? It's a scam. Freemasonry is a scam. It's not real. Get over it. Anybody telling you that the Illuminati is a liar, because it don't exist anymore. It's an anagram. It's a red herring. It's something there to make you think that it's there when it's really not. What you have is a bunch of depraved maniacs that are using their so-called Freemasonic context to dissuade you and alter your perception of reality. They are working together, and they always have been. It's the dirty Moors, the dirty fallen angels, the so-called papal bloodline families. Those are the ones who have been reorganizing and remixing modern religion for eons. And every time we catch them and every time we shut them down, they do some global destruction, and then boom, we right back to where we started from. This gonna be the last one. I'm telling you. This the last one they got in them. They don't have no more left. They don't have it no more like that. Pluto in Aquarius is going to be here between now and 2044. They say 2040, but 2044. Remember, they only got till 2030. That's what Plan 2030 was about. And remember last year, everybody was talking about, oh, Project 2025 and the heritage and the Ku Klux Klan and all of this, right? Just like now, they say you type in Nazi and it takes you right to the DHS website. Why you think they doing that? One, they trolling you, and two, they giving you the truth. Because when you check where all of this is going through the Google shit now, you see all of that is being run out of Tel Aviv. ICE is run by Tel Aviv. It's run by DHS. DHS was run out of Tel Aviv. So that's not even the U.S. government. And remember, Moors, because of the 13th and 14th Amendment citizen, you and I can never be United States citizens. So none of this shit applies to us. Remember? That's why you're supposed to have a nationality outside of this. Remember? That's why you declare your nationality. That's why the prophet came and did what he did. And what do these dirty Moors do? They put other niggas like Kirkman and the Resurrected and all these other jokers in front of him. Why you ain't never heard the prophet's voice or nothing? But you done heard Marcus Garvey. You done heard Woodrow Wilson. You done heard everybody else that was alive around the prophet except the prophet. Why is that? How come none of the Moors of any of these grand sheiks, any of these temples or whatever, how come they never go down to the Organization of American States and subpoena to get the actual tapes and the actual visual representation? Because they had cameras and shit back then. They had videos and daguerreotype photos and stuff back then. We always see the picture of him at the conference holding the flag, right? In the proper manner, where the Moorish flag is on the left and the United States flag is on the right. How come we ain't never get the tapes? How come we can hear Marcus Garvey? We can hear him all day. But when the Garveyite movement collapsed, because Marcus Garvey, who himself was a British, Jamaican marquis, who was one of the marquis of Salisbury, because he was actually royalty. That's why you see him in an Admiralty uniform. Went along with the whole scam too, calling you a Negro, calling you black, calling you African, telling you to go to Africa. But if that was the case, then how come the whole African colonization society was funded by melanated people and Jews? Ever ask yourself that? Why do you think they threw him in jail? But who went to go check him while he was in jail? Who put books on Marcus Garvey who put money on Marcus Garvey's book when he was in jail? The prophet. Who went and gathered up all them Garveyites that was now being fooled for the KKK and gave them protection so that way they could become part of that? The prophet. Who told them that there was a Negro, black, Ethiopian, colored? The prophet. And what they do? Murder him, set him up, put an agent in his place, created a corporation, Banish the real successor, the only successor, Emily Ill. Banish him to obscurity. Created lies about him and anybody attached to his branch. To this day, but these the ones giving you knowledge. These the ones that's out here talking about, well, if you don't do what the prophets say and this and that, but these same niggas be Freemasons at the same time. You tell me who's scamming. Anywho, let's move on. So when we were talking about everything, right, last week, again, thanks to everybody who gave their testimonials and everybody that was there and was really forthright. All those people who said that they got triggered and had memories come back and all of that. Thank you for sharing those testimonials. Feel free to keep putting them into the comment section of the video or email me or whatever, because we're breaking through to the other side, y'all. So what were they testing us for? We talked about that last week, but we're going to get into it some more. They were testing you for the time that we're in now. I told you, through the gateway programs, they were trying to create alternative ways for them to survive, because genetically they are recessive. Therefore, they cannot move into a higher octave. That is their curse. Okay, that was the time delay that was left in their system to be able to do that. That's why they have to go into AI. That's why they need the AI to help give them a new form of life to inhabit. Okay, that's why they want to make everything a token. But what is a token? A token is a slave, right? And so at Davos, they're saying that they're going to tokenize oil. They're going to tokenize your blood, your this, your that. Yeah, you think so? You think everybody in the world going to go along with that? That's what you think? You think everybody going to be cool with it? Okay, cool. Remember, even in the American system today, there are two forms of government as so laid out in the Clearfield Doctrine. Look up the Clearfield Doctrine and read it thoroughly. It lets you know that there is a national government, right? And then there was another government. What these devils did, they created something called Project Zephyr back in the days, because they realized that we are the ultimate problem, because we are the only ones that cannot be physically inhabited the way that they inhabit every other NPC that is half Neander. Okay? And when they found that out, they realized that through the chronovisor, through the Project Looking Glass, that there was no way for them to be able to win. So they had to create an alternative reality in our mind, so that way we can psigonically project that into the different organometers that you and I call cell phone towers, to then create and manifest all and compile all of the metadata. That way they can then compute that into the giant metadata D-Wave computer complexes that then can act as portal openers, so that way they can do it. Do you know that there's a CERN facility in Chicago? Do you know that there's a CERN facility in Geneva? Yes, but there's also one in Chicago. There's also one in Area 52 in New Jersey. Did you know that? Everybody talking about Area 51, but they never talk about Area 52, do they? No, they don't. No, they don't. Why do you think they turned Jersey basically into a nuclear waste dump? Because it's a scam. Roswell was a scam. All of those are reverse engineer products that we had created from the last so-called reset. The rockets, the spaceships, all of that are old Vimanas. All of those are old Moorish technologies that they have been digging up and repurposing. We are the aliens. We are that. When they say that they're Pleiadians, they're lying, because the Pleiades system is younger than this one. So how are they ancient aliens when the Pleiades system, the system of the seven sisters, the system of the seven stars, is younger than the so-called Milky Way system? And remember, space is a scam. You ain't never seen a real picture of the Earth. You ain't never seen a real picture of anything that they have showed you. Get the book Time in the Technosphere, and you'll see this diagram in there by Jose Arguelles. See? The inhabited environment for the maintenance, the information organization of the neural interaction. This is only one fraction. If you was to look at this as an eye, this is where, look at this as an eyeball. This is all in the front of the eyeball, right? All of this back here is what allows the gateway to manifest through the pineal organ, which is why they wanted to calcify your pineal organ. But you have two pineal organs. Did you know that? Did you know that? You have one in heaven, which is the top of the brain, and you have another in the lower heaven, what they call the orchic gland, which is in the area that they refer to as the taint. Which is why when they rape people through the ritual traumatic rituals they go through, they're trying to access that orchic gland, the second one, in what Crowley referred to as the tunnels of Typhon. They want to activate the orchic gland because if they take control of the bottom one, right, they then can access the top at the top chakra. Do you know that when the sperm actually starts to activate, the first thing that forms is the anus? Did you know that? NASA show you how they be trolling, put out a picture of a nebula, and it was an image of basically an anus in space. Just last week, look it up. You know who discovered all of this? We did. We did. You know how they found all this stuff out? By activating us and putting us through these ritual programs in the gateway program. Because we became the gateway. And then those of us who signed up with them through the gateway program to become handlers became known as gatekeepers. Like, people really think that Cat Williams is the leader of the truth movement. That's how sick they are. When he told you that he was summoned to an Illuminati meeting, right, with him and Ludacris. So if he was summoned to the meeting, that means that he is in the meeting. That means he is part of the meeting. That means he is down with it. You know why? Because he got tired of being arrested all the time. He got tired of being brutalized. He got tired of all of that. So he just finally conformed to say, you know what? Can't beat him, we'll join him. But we're going to join him under the Zephyr program. The Zephyr program was something that they initiated that said that they would use the truth, where they would take the truth now, the actual real truth, the things that they're actually doing, and they would get pundits and what do you call these niggas? And people who the people would accept, who seem like they come from them, and they would use these people to eventually give out the information, the truthful information as to what they're doing. And these people who would be used would then actively be followed by those people. And everybody who followed these people, right, would then be cataloged and charted and followed and gang stalked and whatever they was going to do. So that way they could then create a circumstance, a database to be able to find all of the nationals, all of the Christians, all of the real fundamentalists, all of the anti-vax, anybody that's not with what the small hats is trying to do to humanity. Anybody like that would then be categorized and think, right? So they would use these people and they would eventually raise those people to celebrity status. And once they got to that celebrity status, they would then use those people to then market and then create ways for them to eventually target and get rid of everybody. So they basically realized that it was about 15% of the population, let's say, of the United States, that was going to be down with that. So when did this start? This started around the time that people like William Cooper started coming out, and another dude named Bill Hicks, who was actually Alex Jones, allegedly. And then Alex Jones, after they got rid of Will Cooper, because Will Cooper exposed all of this in the Behold the Pale Horse thing, he then took over. And then that's when they got a soccer player named David Icke, a failed soccer player named David Icke, to come. And then he started doing stuff about the reptilians. And then that's when you started hearing all of these different things. Then you started hearing people like George Carlin and all of the rest of these dudes start coming out. And then everybody that would follow them, these people would be targeted. The program never ended. The program was supposed to culminate with a mass blackout situation in which then they would then use that time to then go and then target these people and eventually get these people out, right? But see, the problem with that is we done passed the point of no return. So everybody that was then taken into mainstream, they would then know that these were the people who were working for them. Anybody that was excluded from the mainstream but was actually keeping the real, they would be suppressed, they would be blackmailed, they would be the people not cataloged, that they would be the people who they would try to basically get the rest of the people to ignore. Mainly, basically people like me. So when they sent B.O.B. my way, right, I knew off top, I'm not dealing with this nigga because this is the nigga who was basically with the whole shits up until now. But then I started seeing him with Panic, bless the day. I'm not saying he had anything to do with it, whatever. All I am saying is I wasn't with it, and I'm still here. Panic is not, bless the day. So y'all take that as they say, do as thou wilt. With that, okay? So again, to reiterate, I'm not saying it had nothing to do with it, but all I'm saying is I was not with it. So I stopped taking homie calls and all of that. And all I know is I'm still here. All I know is this nigga's not. So again, do with that as thou wilt. Same thing. What happened to all of these people in the so-called conscious community, right? Where Polite at? What he got arrested for? Where he at now? Jail, right? Where's the other one at? Where's the other one at? He done went crazy. Remember he was about to go to APAC? Remember that? About to go to APAC and everything collapsed after that, right? Gone. Where's the other one at? That was on TikTok with his shirt off all the time. Where he at? Gone. Jail, right? All of this is Project Zephyr. In real time, in your face. But you just didn't know. You can look it up. So when these niggas was asking me to come on these platforms, what's the one with the headband, with the Elijah Muhammad headband? Remember that nigga? He hit me up. This nigga hit me up, said, yo, the people been asking me to get you on, so give me a call so we can work that out. What? Why would I call you to be on your show when I got my own show? Who do that? How are you trying to trick me to invite myself to your platform? Are you crazy? You're crazy. You're crazy. Plus, you're not smart. I don't know these people personally. I'm just going by what I see. I'm amongst the people. I'm ensconced in the people. I do actual real work in the real world with real people. So why would I go into the fiction world to what? Gain more likes? To get invited to the party? To go to the Judas and the Messiah, Judas and the Black Messiah cookout? That's what we doing? Come on, man. I knew shit was crazy when homie was doing a interview and him and the other dude was in the hot tub together. I was like, oh no. Oh no. And it threw me back to James Brown Celebrity Hot Tub with Eddie Murphy back in the days. Remember that? Remember that? So this is the universe. This is the hologram. This is universe A, where we're really at. This is where we all are really at. This is the fake place where they got us now. And what they have been doing is trying to create the unihemispherical thinking to get us to break through so that we can do that. What you're looking at, this is the firmament. Y'all, this is the firmament. This is the barrier. This is the blood-brain barrier. But they can't reach the physical firmament without us breaking through it ourselves. So they need us as vessels. That's why they can't get the ice thing stopped. They can't stop it because we're not with it. Because they're actually working for us. What did the prophet say? He said the European is the secret protector of Islam. Didn't he say that? The white Shriners, right, who are the devil, are more loyal to the old empire than the black ones. Because the black ones believe that they have some sort of mystic shrine. But what is a shrine? A shrine is a mausoleum. What is a mausoleum? A crypt. What is a crypt? A tomb. What is a tomb? A grave. So how can you get enlightened from a grave? What enlightenment can you get from dead people, Morse? Can you tell me? The same Bible that y'all beat in the head everybody with, the same Bible said that the dead tell no tales. The dead don't know nothing. And what does the same Bible say? It says that you are enslaved to mental death and power. That your enemies you are at war with princes and principalities in unseen places, in high places. The evil is up there where everybody trying to go. The people are down on earth where everything is real as a hologram can be. Artificial time versus natural time. Argueless distinguishes between the 1260 frequency of the Gregorian calendar, 12 months, 60-minute hours, right? And the 24/7 frequency of natural time, which is what? 28 days, 24 hours. 28-day months, 24-hour days. Who, again, Moors, who or what exists in the 28-day model? What happens in the 28 days? Moors, who is the representation of the Quran? The true Quran is not the book. The true Quran is the original woman. She is the ultimate calendar by which we dictate and come into or out of reality, Moors. She is the one who dictates who comes into this reality and who does not, Moors. Y'all know that, right? She is the epitome of time itself. She is the black cube. She is the Saturnian mystery that these Freemasons walk around and 7 times in the umbulation in the circuits, the 7 circuits. What is a circuit? Where do circuits exist? In computers, correct? And after the Seventh Circuit, what they supposed to do? They supposed to go to the cornerstone, right? They supposed to go to the cornerstone and kiss the sanguia sod, which is the black meteorite stone. She don't even know how great she really is. She don't even know, because she has been inundated with lies. She has put herself as the harlot, and she don't even know why. I do. For hubris, for trinkets, for worship, for idolatry. But it ain't her fault. It ain't. She has been brainwashed. She has been thoroughly brainwashed by witches from the Isle of Lesbos, who themselves are a part of the Attis cult, the castrated god, the god of the transgender, the transhumans, the god that you see in the harbor that they call Liberty. You understand? I just seen a picture of Tiana Taylor dressed as Liberty, which is Attis, which then lets me know that that Habsburg jaw that dude got is signifying the same thing. And I'm always seeing her in one of them fake moon bumps, one of them fake baby bumps. I'm always seeing her in them shits now. Look at the cover for the movie she just did with DiCaprio in them. Look at what she dressed up as in Halloween. So again, I'm not saying definitively what it is. I'm just saying it's not what it appears to be. Islam, they are all inverted. They are all dealing with this. They were all gatekeepers and the ones that sold us out and went along with the gate program. They were the ones who liked the taste of the pink liquid. They were the ones who went along with it because they were part of it, like Philippa Schuyler and the rest of them. Matter of fact, you know who owned the rights to the Philippa Schuyler story, Moors? You know who owned it? The rights to it? Halle Berry. Now you tell me. And you know who she was trying to get to play Philippa Schuyler in the movie? But she couldn't get no funding for it? Alicia Keys. Oh, these people are demons. These people are devils. They devils. They devils. They don't even know how deep they are. Some of these niggas don't even have the wherewithal to understand how deep they have been played in it, because it's part of their culture. They believe that they're right. They believe that this is how everybody wants to live. Everybody wants to be down with them. Everybody worships them because they have people screaming to be with them every day and screaming how great they are and crying and all that shit when they see them. Of course, it's going to mess with your ego. Of course, it's going to turn you into a monster. So all of them tests that we went to, all of that situation was a part of the same thing. But like I said, some of them memories that they gave y'all were false implanted memories, the same way you saw in the movie Manchurian Candidate with Denzel. But if you really want to see how it went down, go and look at the real one with Frank Sinatra. That's the one you need to watch. The Denzel one was excellent, but the Frank Sinatra one, that's the real one, because it shows you how the technology was developed and the fact that the communist Chinese was helping them do it, was working with CIA and them niggas to do it. Yes, yes, just like the boys in Brazil, just like another one. You want to see a one with heavy programming, but I would suggest you, if you're gonna watch this movie, you better do some sort of grounding ritual for yourself. Get in tune with yourself before you watch this movie if you choose to watch it. It's called Salo, Salo. Do not watch that movie if you are not properly grounded. You understand? It will mess you up. It will mess you up, G. It's no joke. It shows you how the white Nazi, what you call it, was doing the programming in World War II with the children and all that. Watch that movie at your own risk. Just remember, I'm giving you the disclaimer now. You need to have a strong constitution because the shit they was doing in that was just next level. Matter of fact, I spoke to one of my great sheiks, one of the only sheiks I deal with, and he was telling me how remember the old chick I showed you, the old white woman, the old black woman that was running the experiment. Everybody thought it was the white people, but it was really her. She was actually the head of the experiment. She said that he remembered as a child, right before she had died, that she would come to the neighborhood. That there was times when she was dead, when she would come to the neighborhood, and when people would see her coming, the children would run. The parents would run when they saw this woman coming. Eunice Rivers, basically one of the first Oprahs. Yes, it's called Salo. Yeah, Eunice Rivers. So yes, the GATE qualification programs, we were all designated in that, and then they continue to move forward with it. But they had to shut it down after a certain time, right around the crack era. They shut down the public side of it, and then started to take all the data that they accumulated and started to create Rexos and informational things on us. That's how they knew how we was going to eventually create hip hop and all the other shit. How they was going to eventually weaponize that. And so they started to then take that program and started to apply it to other people, started to apply it to white people. And one of those white people they did was John F. Kennedy, his son, his real son. The dude that you see as John is not the real JFK. The real JFK is, matter of fact, he got a YouTube page. You can go check that out. The real John F. Kennedy Jr. The one that you see was the son of Onassis, who was one of the biggest human traffickers and what do you call that? Organized crime figures in the world. That's his son that they killed. So that way Hitler could run. And take his seat. Because they all are part of the same gang. Okay? So these Zener cards, right? The Zener cards were there again to get you to disassociate what they were actually doing to you, as well as to monitor how your mind was able to fix the symbols. Because what these symbols are what are called Platonic solids. Next week, we're going to get into like the origin of how all of this mind control religion stuff started to manifest out of all of the different, what it started and what it ended with. So nobody is practicing what they think they practicing. Everything they think they practicing is coming from else. So like all the Christians, all of those are basically following a certain form of Pauline Roman authoritarianism mixed with a whole bunch of other like Persian duplicitous, or what they call Persian dualism, as well as sympathetic Deuteronomism, as well as other forms of ancient like sigilmancy and stuff like that. All of that stuff is fake. The reason why the Yeshua thing became such a thing was because of how they were manifesting and what the Yeshua energy was bringing through. So that's why the Romans who killed him had to come through and create a whole religion on him. And then his brother James, who they called James, basically put out all of the stuff against Paul. And then Paul, who himself was a Roman, who himself was a Pharisee, basically went out and killed all of them, and then basically put all of that into his doctrine. So all of this heaven, hell, all of this type of stuff they've been giving us is all fake. That nigga Wes Huff that you see on TV that blew up, what's his name, Billy Carson, the other sham artist, that nigga, that other mind, you could see he's been under some sort of mind control. Just look at his eyes, and he married to a Chinese chick, some sort of Asian. So you already know the fix is in with him. But ultimately, that's where it's all going. Wes Huff, all them niggas is following a form, what they think is Christianity, and all of that. All of that shit come from Paul. All of that shit is fake. All of that shit is satanic. I don't care what they telling you. It's all fake. Anybody, remember, we come from the people of the oral tradition. By the time we started writing shit down, it was over. So now the same people who he descend from, who gave us the Bible to mind wipe us from everything else, is now the same one who they're revering as the ultimate biblical scholar, when the whole shit is a scam. This is how they taught us how to write codes and Morse code. Okay, I told you this is how they were able to start to program their objectives through the children. Remember how we used to make those things, those little paper things we used to do, like used to fold up the paper and it had different words or structures in it, and then you would fold the paper like 4 times and then open it. People would do that. That's part of it. Remember the Rubik's Cube? That's part of it. Remember the game Simon that we had? We used to have to press the buttons at a certain time. That's part of it. Remember those snake Rubik's Cubes that we used to make into like cobras and make into balls and all of that? That's part of it. Those are all mind control. Those were all the toys that they gave us while we were in those structures. Remember the whole peg thing we was doing? Remember Connect 4? Remember all of that? Remember, yeah, I could say I wouldn't say the Slinky, but there might be something connected to that. Really, I think Slinky was just they had a lot of leftover uh, bed springs, and they just decided to get some money off that. But I'm talking about like Simon. I'm talking about the Rubik's Cube. I'm talking about the peg. Yeah, the pegs in Cracker Barrel. I'm talking about Connect 4. I'm talking about the snake joint I just talked about. I'm talking about those little things we used to make with the paper to give each other what you call it. We used to ask each other questions from them. How do we learn how to do that? Who taught us how to make those? You ever think about that? Who taught us how to do that? Yeah, there was like little origamis that we used to make, but the girls used to make those when I was in school. They were like folded paper, and they would fold the paper and write certain things in it, and they would be like, "Do you love me?" And you would be like, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'd have to pull out one of the folds, and in the fold it would have a number, and then that number would then be connected to whatever the thing she wrote on the inside of it was. Yes. Who taught us how to do all of those things? Yeah, remember those, right? Who taught us how to make those? How come? Where did the Rubik's Cube come from? Because the Rubik's Cube came out the same time what you call it came out. Matter of fact, I'll show you. Where you think lean came from? Who taught us how to make the purple drink? Who taught us how to do that? Where you think that came from? We just making shit up, right? This is just something that we reaching. You just make it. No. All of this had a reason. Remember these? Remember these? I'll show you right now. Shit. Give me a second. No, we cracking the code on these niggas. They ain't never gonna be able. They're gonna have to get a whole nother generation to try to flip this shit on us. Cause no, we're done. We're done with all of the lies. We're done with all of the scams. Okay, it's over. Sorry, guys. Sorry, not sorry. Remember this? Sorry. Oh. Remember these? Remember those, right? Remember they used to have the contests where if you they had those dudes that would just go there real quick, do it in like 2 seconds. Remember those guys? All of those guys were in the GATE program. Remember these? We was making elephants out of them. We was making, and then one day they was all gone. Where they at now? All of us had these coming up. Where they at now? What happened to yours? Do you remember? No, you don't. You don't remember. Isn't that funny? Where did this thing go? Remember we used to have them on our keychains? Remember that? We had the small ones. Remember? What was we unlocking? What were we doing with them? Where did they go? What were they for? They were for shit like this. They were for this. Remember this? Remember this movie? Didn't you realize that both of these came out at the same time? Did you know that? Go back and look. Yes. And what were they doing in the movie Hellraiser? Go back and look at the first Hellraiser movie. Go back and look at the first Hellraiser movie. Where did he go to get the box? Where did he go to get the box in the movie? To open up the portals into the other realm to meet the fallen angels. Where did he go? You know where he went? In the movie, go back and watch it. He went to Morocco. In the very end and the beginning of the movie, he is sitting there talking to the dude, and outside the window, you see Moors in red feathers walking back and forth. Go back and look at the movie. Tell me I'm lying. In the beginning of the movie and the end of the movie, he was at Morocco. Yes. Remember we was making these? Remember we was so nice with these things? Remember these? And the whole thing, you had to figure out how to make it into a ball like this. Why was this the main shape you was trying to make? You know why? They already showed you why. They showed you why. They showed you what it was. We just ain't know. But they showed us in the movie. They always show us in a movie. One of our favorite movies too. Or one of our favorite things growing up when we used to watch. I'm trying to get it. Hold up. They were trying, I told you, the gate was trying to get you to open up the portals for them. The Allspark. Remember the all-sparking Transformers? Where did they put Megatron? Under the Hoover Dam, right? It wasn't Megatron under the Hoover Dam, the Nephilim, where they hit him. They build a whole dam. They're using his energy to create all of that, right? We're about to wrap it up too. Yes, Moors. They took you to the Hoover Dam too, you know. Did you know that? You don't remember. That's all. You don't remember, but you was there. Everybody in the GATE program, they had GATE sites with designated children where they had to take the children at certain times just to do it. And that's one of the places they took you. You know why? Because at the Hoover Dam, that's where they got a lot of your ancient technology and your what you call is there. This is what's at the Hoover Dam, y'all. Yes, and you was there. Why would they put this at the? Why would these be at the Hoover Dam, Moss? Why would this be there? Why would that be there? Look how they did the Moors. Look what it say. They died to make the desert bloom. Who's they? Who's they? Who's the drowning? Who's being drowned? Yes, us, y'all. Us. So I want y'all to go back, do your little meditations, and start to think as to why you have missing time. And start to keep a journal and start to write down all of the stuff that you start to remember. Start to do that. That allows you to do it. I had the queen, because my queen went to Philippa Schuyler. And she got a friend that went there with her too, and they used to have a song. Next week I'm gonna show you the song. I'm gonna read the words to the song, or you can go online and read it yourself. Read the lyrics to the song for Philippa Schuyler School. They turned Philippa Schuyler, that little girl, into a deity. Remember this game? Simon Says. Remember, you had to keep up with the lights. You had to go mad fast with it. Each one of these devices had a trigger in it that would send the data back to Langley, and they would process that. And depending on how ill you was with it, whoever bought these games, right, they would then create dossiers and shit on you. And then at a certain time, they would come to you at high school or college or whatever to recruit you. So start to take control of your mind now, before it's too late. Anybody have any questions? This is what they did to us, Moors. And none of us was exempt that grew up in this country. They've been doing this since the fall of Granada, Moors, to us, because we are the descendants of the great ones, of the ancient ones, of the titans. You understand? Leviathan respond to us. That's our dragon. You understand? That's our dragon. That's waking up. The more we do this type of shit, the more we're starting to build on this, the more it's waking up, and they can't stop it. So they can only try to delay it and slow it down. This is one of your sacred chariots that they found in Kentucky. The jelly bean universe, like the jelly beans in the jar, the universe is mostly dark. 95% consists of dark matter and dark energy. That's the original man and the original woman. Only about 5%, the same proportion as the colored jelly beans that you see in this, of the universe, including the stars, planets, and us, is made of familiar atomic matter. We are all that exists. And I'm showing and proving it to you with every one of these classes. And any hit dog that holler, meaning anybody that got a problem with this, you know what it is. You know who and what it is. Why are they protecting? Why are you so offended? Why do you feel that this is whatever? Why? I'm telling you why. I'm showing you why. Because these niggas is down with it. And they being triggered. And they don't know why. They are realizing that they are on the wrong side. That all of them Masonic oaths to ghosts and dead people and all the rituals and bullshit that they did to get money is not going to save them. The Leviathan is waking up. The Hoover Dam is about to blow. It's not a joke. And the same people who they think is on their side is actually working with us. Because why? Because our prophet told us before any of this shit happened. And they can't do nothing to stop it. Nothing. Nothing. All of their agents is exposed. All of their lies is up. It's over. Those of the veil. We were used to be called the Al-Muthalim, or also referred to as the Al-Muthalimum, right? Because in our culture, the men wore the veils,
Damn.
right? We Moors. They about to unify the entire American hemisphere only to turn it over to us. You heard? Yes. All in video. We just went through it. Next week is going to be the last part of this, and then we're going to move on of the gate. So anybody got any more gate information or anything like that, let me know. Anybody have any questions? The safest place in America is where you at. Is where you at. They are not going to do nothing to us to hasten on Allah's torment any quicker than it's coming. You heard? They have to protect us now because we have stepped out of the damn matrix. So the same niggas that was trying to kill us last week, they are now deemed to protect us the same way Dutch Schultz had to protect Django in the damn movie. Once he realized that Django was actually Siegfried and what's her name? What's her name was actually Brunhilde. What did he say? He said, I am bound to protect you and help you on your noble quest because it is my honor. Because he realized who he was. And by the end of the movie, what did Django do? Got the queen back on the throne, blew up the entire plantation, right? And he was in all red and maroon. He went from blue like this, which is the Blue Lodge. Then he went into green, which is the will of Allah, which is Islam. Then when he closed the shit out, he was dressed in maroon and red. You can't stop the bum rush. There's nothing they can do. Anybody else that want to get into the blender with them, let them do it. Like I said, y'all want to nuclear bomb this shit? Do it. Do it twice. Do it. All that's we going to eat that radiation and turn it to some whole other shit. You understand? Just these movies is based on you, and we just proved it. So everything else is conjecture. Everything else is niggas trying to get away from it. Everything else is niggas hating and trying to turn it into some sort of minstrel and trying to make it, let's say, about me or about what I'm saying or about what video I put out or the fact I was eating during the video. Like these niggas was coming up with all types of bullshit with the last video, Morse. One said, "Oh, I see who you are now because you saying this is yes, good. You do see me. Good. But guess what? I don't care, because what I'm saying is true. And it's good that you see me, because I can't see you because you don't exist. You speaking from a dummy page, which means you a dummy. You a crash dummy. You don't have the heart to speak from your own mouth, because you can't dispute none of this shit. Because I have shown you the CIA records that you can go online and download yourself. Anybody else? Anybody else got any questions before we close out? This is the CIA document, one of them, and this is a list of great books that you should get to help you. Okay? You can go online and get these. Just type in this and all of that. Anybody have any questions, you can hit me up at houseofl@hotmail.com. Please go to www.aseertheducateers.com for all my links and everything. We don't have the RH factor. We are RH negative. That's why we're the only real humans on Earth. Everybody else is half Neanderthal, half dog, half Yeti, half Sasquatch, or whatever else they are. Whatever it is half. Anything half is a hybrid. We're not hybrids. That's why everybody hates us, because we're the real humans and they're not. Human meaning light being, not human like monster in the Black's Law Dictionary. The Black's Law Dictionary is only about dead people. Black's Law has nothing to do with living people. Every definition in there governs and is about dead people. That's why you have to take control of the entity that was created at the time of your birth that is dead, and then redeem it so that way the living version of you, which manifests through your representative government, i.e. your family trust, is then able to render it and pull what's out of it for the betterment of yourself and your family. The goal is to respect and protect the original woman and her original child, because she is the ultimate creator of, the ultimate creatrix. We men are the creators. Together we make God. That's why they want me to have a baby with a white woman and want you to have a baby with a white man. So that way we move farther away from God and they move closer to it. Even the Smurfs was telling you, Morse. Even the Smurfs was telling you that you was the man. We are all RH negative. We don't, which means we have no RH recess monkey in us. That's why we are negative. That's why they see us as evil. That's why they see the word negative as evil. You understand? We are the only original people left. Okay? The Africans have mixed their DNA to the point where they are now going to let them have free reign in their continent for the next 25 years. We are not the same people. Meanwhile, the people in Davos is literally trying to murder Bill Gates in front of the police. And these people is giving them free reign to go into their country and poison them for another 25 years. So who is really who in this story? See the Papa Smurf? See the Papa Smurf finial? Fez at the top, the Liberty cap. See that? So again, I don't know what else to say on this one. So anybody wants to hit me up or whatever, consultations, anything like that, please do at houseofl@hotmail.com. You could always reach me there. And yeah, also check out www.cordobaorganics.com again for your skin healing and everything else. Growing your hair back, everything else is working. So this is part 2 of the gateway. I don't know what I'm gonna call this yet, But anybody got the app, this will be up in about 2 hours on the app. Everybody else, next Friday, who hasn't subscribed, we're gonna get there. It'll be up on YouTube. Again, so definitely support if you can. I greatly appreciate it. Also, a lot of Moors have been telling me that I've inspired them with their books and stuff like that to write books and create literature. So every week, every time I do a class, I'm gonna spotlight one of their books at the end to help get their work out as well. Because again, the more we withstand, the less they can endure. So I'm gonna start that next week. So anybody that write books or anything like that, you got a good one, definitely send it to me. I'll do the knowledge to it, and I'll definitely get the word out for you as well. Because again, we gotta support each other. Because we got. Islam honors Moors. Long live the empire. Honors to the Prophet Noble Jew Ali. Honors to all his temples. Honors to all of the Moors of North Central South America and Earth. Honest to all of the original women in the world that have been downtrodden and all of that. We love you. We still respect you regards to what you're going through. And inshallah, we will help you get better and get out of this fallen state. Peace.